2 months ago, I built and launched an app that is now making me $704 a day of passive income. I did this without writing a single line of code. If you stick around to the end of this video, I'll show you the exact 7 steps you need to take to do the same thing. This is realistic for anyone, and this is because of AI. These 7 steps we're going to go through is going to take you through everything from discovering challenges, building solutions, to building your app, to marketing your app, to making your first dollar off of it. We're going to cover the entire spectrum from idea to making money off your app. Everything A to Z will be in this video. I promise this is the most important video you're going to watch today. So on January 23rd, I built and launched the app you see here, which is Creator Buddy. Built it completely by myself without writing a single line of code. As you can see here, this is my dashboard on Stripe. This is my MRRs, the money I'm making every single month. You can see it's been doing pretty damn well since it launched. Been hovering right around $300,000 of annual recurring revenue because of it. It's a social media tool specifically built for X, but you can use it for LinkedIn and YouTube. And I built it all with AI. AI walked through, wrote all the code. All I did was tell the AI what to do. And I really believe anyone can do this. Now, I believe anyone out there who has access to the internet can build, launch, ship apps, and start making money for themselves and create value for themselves. This is the way to do it in 2025. This is the way to build your own business. This is how you find freedom. So let's get into these 7 steps. I'll show you how I went from building to launching this to making money off of it. And hopefully you'll learn a ton from this and be able to do the exact same thing. So step 1, I know I have this really corny presentation here, but I think it's the best way to do visuals, and I'm also not good with video editing. So we're going to stick with the presentation. Step 1, find challenges that you personally have. So let me show you the challenge I had that I solved with an app that eventually led to me building this business. So what I used to do is I take Twitter very, very seriously. And what I would do at the end of every day after tweeting is I would take each tweet I make and put it into this spreadsheet you see here. So I would literally copy and paste the tweet and then type in the likes, the retweets, the comments, the views, paste in the link. This was hours and hours and hours of work. I did this so that I can review my content and see what's working and see what isn't. Eventually, I hit the point where I was spending so many hours in this. You can see there's literally thousands of lines in this spreadsheet I was spending typing in tweets and typing in engagement. I eventually hit the point where I was just like, there has to be a way to automate this. There has to be a way to make this easier. And so I decided to solve my own challenge with an app. And this is what you need to do. You need to find challenges you have, because most likely if you have challenges that you can solve, there are people out there with those same challenges. So step 1, all of this, before we do anything, before we launch the app, start talking about the app, anything like that, before we even touch AI, we have to figure out a challenge we have that we can solve with an app. For me, it was monitoring all my tweets. For you, it could be anything. Any challenge you have day to day on the internet with digital products, anything that you, even the smallest challenge. For me, it was just taking time, copy pasting tweets, and I wanted to solve that challenge. What is it for you? If you don't know what that challenge might be, or you're at a loss, or you don't do much on the internet, I got a solution for you. Go to ChatGPT. Watch this. So we're on ChatGPT. Here's how we're going to find a challenge if we don't know what other challenges we want to solve here. We go in here and we just type in, we have a conversation with ChatGPT. Here's the prompt I'm putting in. I'll put this down below so you can just copy and paste, or if you just want to pause and type it in now, you can do that. My interests are social media, content creation, writing newsletters, and coding. What are 5 challenges people in my niche have that I can solve with really simple apps? So you just put in whatever your interests are here, whatever your interests are, and say, these are my interests. What are 5 challenges people in my niche have that I can solve with really simple apps? The best apps and the best software are the ones that solve challenges for everyday people, right? Very basic, everyday challenges. That is what we're looking to solve, right? If your app can solve a challenge for people, they're going to keep using it to solve that challenge. So what we need to figure out is, what challenge are we going to solve with our app? If we just build an app that doesn't solve any challenges, no one's going to use it. So again, this step 1, we're finding a challenge we can solve. If you don't know any of your challenges you can solve, we're going to find some right here. So challenge 1, I never know what to post. App idea, Content Spark, a daily content prompt generator based on your past posts or chosen niche. Let users input topics they care about, pull their top performing content, generate 3 post ideas. All right, so what we're going to do is this. I'll choose one of these ideas and we'll actually execute on this in the 7 steps. We'll actually build out the app and I'll show you how to do it. I lose track of all my ideas, so a brain dump on a simple voice text input tool that organizes scattered ideas for folders and tags. That's interesting. I want to use my best posts. I'm growing a newsletter but can't tell what content works. I want to learn to code by building useful tools. Maybe what we'll do is we'll build a note-taking app so we can track all ideas that come to us very easily. So we found a challenge. People lose track of their ideas. Now let's solve that challenge, and we'll move on to step 2. So step 1 was finding a challenge to solve. The challenge is I lose track of all my ideas. People, they come up with ideas for content throughout the day, right? But then they lose track of those ideas. You ever come up with an idea for a video or a tweet, you forget to write it down, you lose track of it? We're going to solve that problem in this video. So I lose track of all my ideas. Step 1, done. We found a challenge to solve. Now we move on to step 2. Step 1 for me when I built Creator Buddy was I want to track my tweets and see what works and what doesn't. Then I moved on to how to build it, which we're going to show you how to do next. So step 2 is figuring out a solution to that problem. So we have a problem we discovered that we want to solve. Now we need to figure out a solution to that problem. So for me, I had my challenge of how do I track my tweets much easier and review them to figure out what works and what doesn't. For me, what I did was exactly what I'm about to show you here is you go back into ChatGPT, you type in that problem you want solved, and then we start brainstorming solutions to that problem. So we're going to ask ChatGPT here, I want to solve challenge 2. I lose track of all my ideas. What are 5 simple apps I could build to solve that problem? Right? So we found the challenge, losing track of ideas. For me with Creator Buddy was I want to track my posts. Now we find the solutions. What are 5 simple apps I can build to solve that problem? I went through this exact same exercise with Creator Buddy before I discovered the actual app. So here are a bunch of ideas ChatGPT came up with. Voice dump for creators to get ideas while walking, driving, or shower thinking. Swipe to save. Creators constantly find inspiration on social media but don't store. Okay, so it's like a bookmarking tool for social media. Idea inbox. Creators jot things down in 10 different places and forget them all. So what this does is a central inbox for ideas. That's pretty good. Creative Canvas, Idea Vault. You've got hundreds of ideas, but no system. This is a database style tracker for all your ideas. I think I like this one. I think I like this solution. So it is a database for content ideas. So we have the problem that we're going to solve, which is people forget ideas for content easily. Now we have the solution, the Idea Vault, which is like a database for content ideas. This was step 2, figuring out the solution to the challenge that we're going to eventually build and start marketing. This is where my idea for Creator Buddy came from, right? I was talking to ChatGPT. I said, hey, I want to be able to review my tweets, get them synced in easily. And it gave me the recommendation to build a tool that syncs tweets and tells you what works and what doesn't through AI. This is the exact same system. Okay, so we have our challenge. We have our solution, which we're going to go with the Idea Vault and build this out. The next step is building out the solution. So step 3, we're halfway there. We found the challenge, we found the solution. Now we need to start building out the solution. So here's what we need to build out the tool. And again, you don't need any coding knowledge to do this. This is very straightforward, very simple. You're just talking to AI. To prototype the tool, we're going to use V0. And feel free to pause here and write this down. To build out the tool after the prototype, we're going to use Windsurf. Then we're going to use Supabase to store data in the tool as our database. And then we're going to monetize the tool with Stripe. By the way, if you learned anything up to this point, make sure to hit subscribe. Make sure to leave a like. All I do is film really cool videos about building things with AI. So I actually decided last second here, we're going to use bolt.new instead of V0. I was having some troubles getting V0 to load up. It might be down right now. So for the sake of this video, we're going to go with bolt.new. Bolt.new is just as good as V0. So go to bolt.new. We're going to build out the prototype through bolt.new right now. So here's the prompt I'm putting into bolt.new. I want to build out an app that stores ideas for content. The user can enter ideas for content to store the ideas in folders and give them tags. It should be a beautiful, clean, and simple app. Enter. So now bolt.new is going to go ahead and actually start building out the prototype for us. So it's going to start writing all the code. It's going to build out all the logic, and we don't need to write a single line of code here. We're just telling this AI agent what to do. So based on your requirements, I'll create a beautiful content ideas management app that allows users to create, organize, and tag their content ideas. Amazing. So it's creating all the code, has all these core features. And in a second, we're going to see what the prototype looks like. And we'll be able to export it and start building it out ourselves. So you can see everything it's doing on the left-hand side, which is really interesting. And even if you have no idea how to code, this is really awesome to follow and track along. And this is going to give us the kind of starting blocks we need to building the app that I'm going to show you how to market and sell later on in the video and start making money off of. All right, here we go. It looks like it's built out. Here is the prototype we got. This looks pretty nice. Does this dark mode work? Wow, it works. That's sick. Okay, so we have on the left-hand side folders, tags, and here in the middle is the ideas for content. Let's click new idea. Let's say idea for a YouTube video. Let's give it a folder. Do we have any folders here? We don't have any folders here. Describe idea, YouTube, idea, create, and then boom, there goes the idea. I love that. Let's see. Can we create a folder? Folder name, YouTube, boom. Can we add this to a folder? Edit, folder, YouTube. Okay, wow. That's actually really good for a prototype. I mean, it actually like stores data already locally. That's pretty amazing. All right, so we have the prototype. Next, we're going to want to take this and put it into Windsurf. So let's do this. We're going to want to download the code, and we're going to be putting this into Windsurf so we can start building. For those who don't know, Windsurf, it is an AI code editor. You don't need to write code in it. You just put in prompts, and it starts building out the app. It's a lot more in-depth than V0. V0 is great for getting the prototype done. Then you use Windsurf to really build out the application. And I'm going to show you how to do that now. But feel free to download this. There's a free tier. It's very generous. We can get the app done with the free tier. Okay, so we're in Windsurf. This is what I did. I opened up the folder that we just downloaded from Bolt. So we unzipped that folder. I went into Windsurf. I opened it up. Now we're inside Windsurf. Again, this is where we're going to be building out the entirety of the project. Windsurf is an AI agent. We're still in step 3 here, so we're building out the app. After this, we'll go through the marketing and all that. But we're going to build it out in Windsurf. This is exactly what I did. I built out Creator Buddy through Bolt, and then I went in and started building it in Windsurf. These are the exact same steps. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk to the AI. Over on the right-hand side is the AI agent we can chat with, and we can go through and do a couple prompts to get this set up. So here's the prompt I'm going to put in after we opened up the code in Windsurf. I built out a prototype in Bolt for new app. I downloaded the code and opened it up in this window. Can you take a look at the code and make sure all the technology is set up so we can run this? So we're basically just saying install all the tech we need to run this app. I hit enter on that. So Windsurf is now going through, taking a look at all that code, and it's going to see what tech it needs to install so that we could run this app and start building it out. All right, so now it's going to have us install the tech. We can just hit accept on that, and it's going to start installing the tech. And this will allow us to run the prototype. We're not going to spend a tremendous amount of time here. I just want to make sure you understand the basics of building the app with AI. Then we're going to get into the marketing side and getting the app into people's hands and show you how to actually make money on the application. So we hit accept on npm run dev, and it's actually going to start running our app. So let's see how this works out. All right, so it has a server here we can go to. We just copy and paste this localhost address. Let's pull this over here, and boom, there's our app we built in Bolt. There's the prototype. That's pretty amazing. It looks exactly the same. It looks beautiful. Let's build the idea again. Twitter idea, save this, create, boom, it goes there. I love it. This is a pretty good app for a prototype. What I'll do now is I'll show you how to use Windsurf really quick so you get a feel for it. Then I'm going to go into the next step so you know how to actually market and sell the app. So back in Windsurf, if we wanted to make changes into our app, we can do that here with the AI agent. All we do is speak in plain English to the AI agent, and then it goes and makes changes to the app for us. So say we wanted to add a category to each idea so that we could select like Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, whatever. We want to add that drop down here. Let's add that real quick with Windsurf, just so you know how to use Windsurf basically before we move on to the next steps. So all we do is go back into our AI agent over here on the right, and we just speak in plain English to it on what we want. So I want to be able to select a social media site in each idea, add a drop down that has options for Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. We're going to hit enter on that, and then the AI agent just goes to work. It starts building out the functionality for us. So it's building out the code for us. It's making the edits and changes. I'm not writing a single line of code here. I'm just sipping water and sitting back enjoying while my AI employee goes and does work for me. In a second, it's going to be done and our edits will be made. Again, we haven't written a single line of code yet. We have a full application. All right, let's see if it works. Let's do a new idea here. Boom, social media platforms. So I can select the platform. Let's do a new idea. This will be an IG idea. We'll select the platform, Instagram, create. And there it is, platform, Instagram. It's saved in there. See, it is that easy to make changes to your application. We already have a basic application built out. We did it in a few minutes. Now that we found a challenge, we thought of a solution and built the solution, we can move on to step 4. All right, so we're on step 4. About halfway through building Creator Buddy, I started tweeting about it. So we're about in October of 2024. I'm about halfway done building it. And what I started to do, which surprised me how it worked, was I started sharing my journey, right? So I started sharing my journey on X. I primarily created content on X. And what you do by sharing your journey on X, here's a post I wrote announcing that I was working on this app and everything that's inside of it. People who have the challenge that you're solving start to get interested in your journey and start following you along and start following along with everything you're doing. So I talked about having an AI coach that reviews all your old content, an AI content repurposing tool that takes your content and turns it into different tweets. And people fell in love with this journey. They saw everything I was doing. I created these videos where I showed how all my apps worked and how every tool in the app worked. And people fell in love with the journey. As you can see here, this had over 600 comments, 333,000 views. It took off. People were just in love with this announcement and what I was building. So as you're building your app, you start sharing your journey on social media. You start talking about the challenge you're solving. You start talking about how you're solving it with your solution, and you give demos of your app like I'm doing here. And people just get interested. They either get interested because you're solving a challenge for them, or they get interested because they just want to follow a builder's journey. People love people who take action. They see people who take action. They want to follow along because they want to live vicariously through those people. So you want to share your journey. This is the best marketing there is. The best marketing there is sharing your journey for a few reasons. One, it's free. This doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost anything to share your journey, right? It's completely organic. It's authentic. It feels real. It feels realer than like an ad you would see on Facebook or an ad you'd see in a newspaper, right? This feels real. This feels like people are following along with me and building the app with me. So every step of the way, I was tweeting it out. Every new feature I would add to the app, I would tweet it out. I would show a demonstration. I would show how it would solve people's challenges. And every time I did that, the tweet would go viral. It was so easy. And this is all organic marketing, right? This is all me just talking about my app and people wanting to hear it. I'm not paying for anything. I'm just talking about my journey. And you can do this even with a small account. Here's my friend William Wang. He has a great YouTube channel as well. So definitely subscribe to him there. But on X, you can see a post he made just a couple days ago about his app that he just launched. He only has 6,000 followers, but he put out a post sharing his journey and demoing the app he's building. 3.7 thousand likes, 700,000 impressions. Completely organic. Didn't pay a cent for this. This is free advertising. All you need to do to get people onto your app is organic marketing. Tell them about your journey. It's that simple. So you found the challenge, you figured out a solution, you built a solution with V0 and Windsurf. Now you start sharing your journey as you're building it, and people will get hooked. They'll want to follow your journey and follow your story. So that brings us to step 5. We're almost there. We're almost at the end. Beta testing the app, right? So we have the app. We're building it out. We got people hooked on our journey. Next, we want them to start using it. This is also great marketing. So for me, as I was tweeting out about my idea and putting out demos like you see here, I would choose people to beta test. So people who liked my post, people who replied to my post, people who followed me, people who subscribed to me, I would just reach out to them, anyone that seemed interested, and I'd say, hey, test out my app. Do you want to try it out and give me feedback? And I had hundreds of people beta testing Creator Buddy. This is an incredible way to build your app for a few reasons. One, most importantly, it gets you feedback, right? It gets people using the app. It gets you feedback on what's working and what isn't, and you can start iterating on your app and implementing that feedback so that you have an app that people actually want to use. 2, this is great because it builds exclusivity. The people beta testing will tell other people about it, and they'll be like, oh, I want to beta test that. I want to try out the app. So people will want to beg to use your app, which is an incredible place to be. And 3, you're building up warm leads for when you launch the app and start selling it so that you can go to them and say, hey, do you want to buy the app now? Right? If they beta test it and enjoy it, they'll now be more likely to actually buy your app. So beta testing it is huge, mostly because you get feedback, but 2, you start getting marketing and leads for when you actually launch the app. So it is crucial you beta test this app with people who have fell in love with your journey here. One of my favorite things to do as I was beta testing, by the way, is I created a group chat on X. This is only really possible on X. You obviously can't do this on YouTube, but I created a group chat for all the beta testers. And every time I do an update, I'd send it to the group chat and people would get so hyped about it. So, engage your audience, engage the beta testers, engage your community, put in a lot of work, right? Do the unscalable things. Do the things that are hard to scale, the communication, the DMs, the group chats, all of those. It's hard to do. It takes a lot of time, but these are the kind of things that are going to get you a ton of customers on day one. Because of the steps I'm showing you, I had hundreds of customers day one of launching my app. Day one launching my app, I hit about $200,000 of ARR, and I think it was 2 weeks later that I hit $300,000 of ARR. So all these steps I'm about to show you, all these strategies I'm about to go through, they lead to results. I tested them myself. They work, I promise you. So sticking around and writing these down and following these steps, I promise you will lead to a successful app. So we beta tested our app. We got a ton of feedback. Now we're ready to launch the app. A few things you need to do. Number one, make sure monetization's all ready to go. So integrate Stripe into your app. All you have to do is go to the AI agent in Windsurf, say, hey, I need to monetize this. Let's implement Stripe. Stripe is a payment processor. Really simple to use, free to use. It just takes a little fee with every transaction. So make sure you get to implement Stripe so you can start collecting payments for your app. Next, you want to do the marketing. So you want to build out the landing page. The landing page is critical. You can also do that in Windsurf as well. Here is my landing page I built for Creator Buddy. This is all done in Windsurf. Designed, built everything in Windsurf. So you can go in, just say, hey, I want to build a powerful landing page. Make sure it markets all the features. Here's the colors I want to use. Build out the landing page for me. And Windsurf will build really cool looking landing pages. I wanted to go with kind of weird, funky colors so it stands out. I feel like every SaaS out there has the same kind of blue colors. I want to go with like blue, orange, and this like weird tan color. I feel like it's different. I feel like it stands out. So you can do different things and stand out and do things that feel right for you and make it personal and make it fun. That's how it's going to catch eyes. So build the landing page as well. This is going to be your marketing. And then re-engage the audience, right? So go back to the beta testers. Say, hey, we're launching today. If you're interested, feel free to buy it here, right? Most of my sales on day one were from beta testers. I think I had like 150 people beta test the app, and I think something like 70% of them ended up converting and buying on day one. So they were a huge chunk of the people that bought on day one. They're a big reason why within like 5 minutes of me launching the app, I was at 100K ARR. Obviously, you want to share your journey. Obviously, you want to tweet about it. Here's the tweet I did on day one when I launched the app. I'd like to introduce you to Creator Buddy, the greatest AI content tool ever made. Really sell it, really make it a big event, make it huge. It's a part of your journey. You want to make it big. I put a video down below that has a full demonstration of the app from top to bottom so people can get a feel of what it's like. And then put the link in the second post if you're doing it on Twitter, because it deboosted if you put the link in the first post, so put it in the second post. And this post is obviously going to be huge. This is almost 500,000 views for me on launch day, which is massive. But here's a little cheat code, though. Here's a little cheat code a lot of people don't do. The cheat code is this. Live content is amazing for marketing your applications. I was on Spaces every day the first 2 weeks, and that's why I was quickly able to get to $300,000 of annual revenue. So if you're on Twitter, you want to do Spaces. Spaces are such an underrated hack. Spaces allow you to talk and communicate with your followers live in like a podcast style chat room. It's huge. It's huge for getting your app out there. Do that. And then live streams. If you're on YouTube, do live streams. Live streams are massive. People love listening to live streams. The discoverability on live streams are actually a lot better now on YouTube. So you can do that as well. And when you do these spaces, when you do these live streams, just walk through your app, walk through your journey, walk through how you built it. People will be interested. Again, people love builders. People love people who take action. And so they'll watch your live stream, they'll watch your space, and they'll fall in love with you and the product you built. And that'll be huge for pushing sales. And that brings us to our final step, the final step of the 7 steps. If you stuck with me here, you almost got the complete journey done. So the final step, and this is a critical one. This is a critical one if you want to make a lot more money, or this is a critical one if you just want to watch money pour in. Iterate. So if you want to just launch it and sit back, that's fine. But I think it's really critical, at least for the first couple months, you iterate, right? You listen to the people who signed up. First day might be a little stressful. You're probably going to have bugs. No matter how much you test it, you're going to have bugs. First day for me, I think I stayed up like 48 hours straight just fixing bugs. So that's huge. But you want to iterate. Listen to the feedback. Open up your email inbox. Open up your DMs. Listen to see what people have. Watch your replies. Fix any bugs that come in. And then get feedback. People will give you feedback and start implementing that feedback. Whatever feedback you implement, talk about it. Let me give you an example. So here's an example. A few days ago, I launched a new feature. It's a health check feature in Creator Buddy. It gives you the health of your account on Twitter, right? And what I did is I announced the feature and I put a demo video and I talked about why I made that feature. So we're building new features, and again, we're sharing the journey of what we're building. And by doing this, you're going to get a lot more sales. These are my biggest sales days, the days where I announce new features and give demo videos on social media. These are the days that get you more and more users. So you want to keep talking about new features. You want to keep putting demonstrations out there on social media. You can do it on YouTube. You can do it on X. Both work really well. And then you have two options, right? After you iterate a little bit, you can let it do its thing. If it solved the challenges, people will keep using it. You'll keep making money, and now it becomes passive income. You can then go do other things. If you want to now start building a new project and start launching a new app and doing this over again, you can do that. If you want to just keep sitting on this one, if you think you have $1 trillion idea, keep iterating, keep building new features, keep announcing them. You can do that as well. It's up to you. You can turn it into passive income, which might make it harder to grow in the future, or you can keep iterating on it and working on it and growing it further and further. But the journey is not done after launch. You want to keep iterating on it. When I took these 7 steps for Creator Buddy, it was an instant success. I'm talking within, I think it was 10 minutes, I hit $100,000 ARR. And then I think it was like a few hours later, I had 200K. And then like a couple weeks after that, we were at 300K. The playbook works. This is the new playbook. This is the playbook you got to use if you want to find success with AI startups, right? It doesn't cost any money to do, right? All these tools I showed you are free. The advertising is free because all we're doing is tweeting and creating videos. All that's required is putting in the work. You build products that solve challenges, and then you tell people about it. People will follow along with your journey, and then they'll buy that solution. That's how simple this is. The issue is most people are intimidated by the steps I just gave you. They're intimidated to execute. They're intimidated to learn AI programming. They're intimidated to talk about their journey. But if you do these things and you take action, you'll be in the 1% that takes action. You'll be in the 1% that actually took the leap and started doing these things. Because this isn't really that difficult. It's intimidating, but it's not difficult. It's challenging because it takes a lot of nerves, but it's very simple. So take these steps, watch the video back if you need to steal my prompts and do it over again. What I'd recommend you do now is go back, and now instead of doing everything I did in the video, do it with your own idea. So come up with your own challenge, then your own solution, then build it out. Go back and do that again, but with your own solution. And then you can launch this out. You can lose nothing by doing these 7 steps. The worst case scenario is you launch something and no one gets it, right? But that's not even that bad because you learned something along the way. Then you can just do it again and launch again, and eventually you'll hit a win. AI has democratized success. Everyone has now an opportunity to be successful with AI, to build products, to launch products, to make money. You just got to take the action. Take the action. If you learned anything at all, make sure to hit subscribe, make sure to leave a like, and let me know in the replies what you want me to build next. I'll see you in the next video.